Hallo en welkom. 2014 begin al op dreef kom en reeds blyk dit dat hierdie jaar redelik uitdagend gaan wees. Maar daar is ook allerlei moontlikhede en interessanthede. Ons het met enkele bekendes gepraat oor verwagtinge in die nuwe jaar. En nou hoor ons van die politieke ontleder en menseregte aktivis Rhoda Kodali. Te midde van haar kommer oor negatiewe verwikkelinge in die politiek, glo sy die antwoord na sukses berus by gewone burgers.
2013 was a politically disappointing year. I think that the Zuma administration was at its very worst, and the low point for me was the Nkandla corruption. It sends a very bad message to young people in this country about hard work, about entrepreneurship, about studying hard in order to achieve. People like Raymond Ackerman, the boss of Pick n Pay, and his wife, they worked at the very lowest level in order to achieve what they can achieve. And Nkandla epitomizes to me the entitlement spirit in the country. That if you were in the struggle, you're entitled to the state's resources and the economy. The other thing is the Guptagate scandal. And ironically, Nkandla and Guptagate were national key point issues. And when the ruling elite determines what national key points are so that they can bestow the state's largesse on their friends, then South Africa has to be very worried about its future. We're beginning to look like Nigeria. We are beginning to look like the worst corrupt countries in Africa. And whereas South Africa can be the definitive democracy in the world, we are actually becoming like those people on our borders, Zimbabwe, the DRC, and other corrupt countries. The only people who give me hope in the new South Africa are people like Thuli Madonsela, who exercises a job without fear or favor. Sy is bang vir niemand. En dis die tipe watchdog wat ons nodig het in hierdie land. And those are the kinds of people that I want to see in high office. They give black people hope in South Africa, that you can be efficient, you can have clean governance, you can be accountable, and they respect the rule of law. You know, in my life I do millions of speeches a day, but the two speeches this year that really gave me hope was die Suid-Afrikaanse Onderwysers Unie. Ek kom in 'n groot saal in Kodali en daar sit 'n klomp wit mans. Hulle is skoolhoofde, governing bodies, skoolprinsipale, en daai Afrikaanse skole het hulle deure oopgemaak vir swart en bruin kinders, en daai is die beste skole in die land. Onze kinders kry 100% slaagsyfers in daai skole. En toe ek daar met hulle praat by een van hulle kongresse, I had a good feeling about these people who are part of the new South Africa. They want to make a difference. And then I was invited by the RCVV. En ek kon nooit sou dink dat hulle vir my sal uitnooi na hulle kongres toe nie. En toe ek daar is en ek hoor dat hulle het 5000 volunteers wat help om maatskaplike werk te doen in die landelike gebiede met die armste mense, bruin en swart mense, en hoe hulle self gereinvent het ek vir hulle gesê, ek sal 'n patron van julle organisasie wees met groot liefde en loyalty and pride, trots. So they, Thuli, RCVV, SROE, these contradictory forces in our country are shaping the new South Africa. And government at their peril will ignore the goodwill at the local level that stretches across race and class in this country. And I see it in my work. I see it across the country. Because in Pumalelo, the organization that I run, we reward excellence in this country. And there are pockets of brilliance in childhood education, in maths and science development, in infrastructure development, in HIV, turning it around. And all we need is a government to give us a hand up. We don't want handouts, because handouts is going to destroy the country. A hand up will develop us into the National Development Plan. We have had marches in Cape Town where excrement was thrown at the Premier's office. We have people who purport to march in the name of the poor, and they destroy the livelihoods of small traders in Adley Street, where I work, and the St. George's Mall. Very few of us have the courage to stand up to that kind of mob tyranny. And I think it's incumbent on us adults who marched in that struggle is to also march for the right for opposition to exist in the Western Cape. And that when you blur the lines between poverty and the right of opposition to exist and our constitutional rights and freedoms, then we are in trouble. And very few people spoke up in favor of the traders who were beaten, the civilians who were beaten, the right of opposition to exist, the right not to have violent protests, but democratic, peaceful protests. And that is what worries me in this country. And I want to end off my interview today by reiterating that evil thrives when good people shut up.
Rhoda Kodali, soos ons haar ken, skrik nie vir die duiwel nie.